Y'all, what is up? Today we're going to be talking about passion. What it is, do you have any? What is it supposed to be or look like? It was an intimate conversation between me, B, and Ange. And I think we actually realized some stuff that maybe we didn't know. A lot of people are chasing passion like it is purpose. But what comes first? Action or is it a feeling? We get into all of that, y'all. It's going to be an amazing episode. If you're somebody who's struggling with finding your passion or your purpose, we know you guys are going to enjoy this. Here is Nights at the Round Table. And welcome to another episode of Nights at the Round Table. Tis your boy, Man Weezy. I got the queen, Angela Johnson Reyes, to the left.
Hello.
We got Be Real to the right.
You see it?
We are up in these streets just chilling today. We're going to be talking about pasiones. But first, it's a morning over here, so we're still sipping coffee or whatever the hell that green thing is.
It's my matcha tea to match my shirt.
Both
Brandon's
of y'all
on
shirts.
water now.
Both of y'all shirts. B's on water. I'm still on the BCAAs, guys. Yeah. In the morning, we are not doing wine. We do not own a vineyard, so there's no good reason for us to be wine drinking in the morning. But we are having a great time.
I wonder if there is a good breakfast wine.
Wouldn't it be mimosa?
No, that's champagne.
But don't people drink mimosa for?
Yeah, that's a breakfast. But I'm talking about like a vino, a wine. You know how you can pair wine
champagne
with
wine?
With no, you can pair wine with fish, or red meat or pork or breakfast.
Interesting.
This wine goes really good with a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
My dream. Two worlds.
That's funny.
Paradise.
Man, it's a good morning today because we woke up. Yeah. B, I just found out that I did get the placement for the Wheel of Fortune.
Let's go.
No way. Two of them now?
They're both of their promos are playing my music. So that's pretty dope.
Let's go.
Oh,
Round of applause.
I don't even know if I have the air horn.
Round of applause. I'm your air horn. Oh,
not that in it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
I love it. So that's just a praise report since we're doing praise reports.
All right,
now.
I'll do a praise report. Took Bonzo to the vet because he has little bumps on him, and she aspirated them and basically poked a hole in them, and they're just cysts. They're not cancerous. They're just cysts.
Did stuff come out?
Yeah, stuff came out.
Man.
Did you see it?
No, I wasn't allowed to go back there. But you know me, I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Can you videotape this for me? Thanks.
You guys, look it.
Can you tag me?
Praise report. B, what's your praise report?
My praise report is my knee's getting better. I got knee surgery middle of August, and every day I'm just bending this leg a little bit more.
Look at you. We're in October, and you're already bending the leg.
I'm progressing, man. It's day by day. I'm learning so much. I am celebrating the small wins every day, and it's weird. I feel more fulfilled. Like, it's nice to crush big goals, but I'm now in the place where I'm just like celebrating tiny wins each day.
Hell yeah.
I'm just like 1% better today. That's it.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that bend.
So, Manny's got something he's going to read to us today.
Yeah, no.
What
this
you
section,
reading?
Babe, you got to do it together.
Oh, okay.
In this section of What You Reading? What You Reading?
Hellas.
We're going to be reading out of Peter J. Gomes, who is the Master of Divinity in Harvard. It's called The Good Book, talking about the Bible. Or I like to say the accurate translation is the Bible. Okay. To make this point more clear, it is fair to describe the New Testament as a Christian commentary on the Old Testament, a commentary that does not simply reconcile one to the other, but appropriates the Old as its own. Thus, to the question about the body of Scripture known as the Hebrew Bible, whose Bible is it anyways, the Christian answer becomes an empathetic ours. It is Augustine who puts it most succinctly. What was concealed in the Old is revealed in the New. The New Testament itself is the product of an early and radical hermeneutic. This was in him breaking down, because in the modern Christian church, most of us see the Old Testament as like
irrelevant.
Yeah, not real, because we're under a new law, we're under a new grace. So what he's saying is the New Testament is literally just a commentary of the Old Testament. And it works together more than it is we need to ignore the old and not pay attention to it. But I just thought it was brilliant the way he talks about how to join the two, you know?
Interesting.
Not a lot of people are into the Old Testament because it is difficult to digest. But
It is difficult.
if you know that anytime anybody was talking about any scripture, they were dealing with the Old Testament when you're in the Bible.
It's interesting saying it's a commentary on the Old Testament because I remember in my younger days, sometimes when I would go read the Bible, I had one of those Bibles that had hella commentary at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I would just read those parts. I wouldn't even read the Bible. I was like, let me just read the translation. What does that mean? Let me just do that.
Well, that's essentially what he's saying. He's saying the New Testament was actually the first hermeneutical commentary of Scripture.
I don't know what hermeneutical means.
So hermeneutics is a theory and methodology of interpretation. So how to interpret things, especially the interpretation of biblical text. So hermeneutics is the study of interpretation.
Oh, okay.
So what the New Testament was doing was giving us the first interpretation of the Old Testament, trying to apply it to current day situations. We're still doing it now.
Yeah. Now we're doing it to the New Testament.
Now we're doing it to the New Testament, but these writers were the first people to engage in that, which makes the process a lot more human than we would like to admit, I think, because we would like to. We're like, oh, divine scripture, it's all God breathed, it's
infallible.
all this, and you know, he's not saying that it's not God, but he is saying that this was an attempt at a commentary. I'm gonna give you guys what we know about the past, about the Old Testament, and try to apply it the best to what we know about Jesus. And here's the example of it, the New Testament.
And even Jesus himself expands on that. He adds the conversation, right? We find him saying, you have heard, but I say to you, right? So it's like, hey, everyone knows this was a consciousness that was dominant during this time, right? Is it Einstein that says you can't solve a problem with the same consciousness that caused it?
Right.
Whoa.
So Jesus comes, he's like, hey, I'm gonna give you a whole new way to look at this whole thing. And this is my commentary on it. Mm-hmm. And people hated him for that, right?
Yeah, because when he did say it, he said, you have heard it before, you have heard it said before, blah, 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 blah. But I tell you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So he's constantly in conjunction with what's happening in the old and how it's supposed to play out in the new, which is what pissed a lot of people off.
And
which is probably why we still
with
get
like those who are like
people pissed off.
deconstructing.
Yeah.
You have heard it said in the church, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And now we say,
but the Spirit's now said.
Yeah.
I find it that the term deconstruction triggers so many people.
So many.
It does.
So we say we're remodeling our house. It's the same thing. We're remodeling our faith.
Yeah.
Say it's a remodel. It's going through a remodel.
As long as it's modeled after Jesus.
As long as the blueprint is the cornerstone.
I'm unlearning. So I can learn again.
I'm learning.
Try to figure out a way not to trigger.
It's interesting because like people who feel very strongly about that term, the truth is we're all deconstructing to a level.
All the time.
Constantly.
And the idea of progressive Christianity, how that's negative, I'm like, literally you're progressing every day.
Every day. And if you're not... Again, I would argue that the main goal of Christianity is for you to let go and to lose.
Sure.
So that you can win. So it's like, it's unlearning and it's in the letting go that we actually find what we're all searching after, right? You know, Jesus tells the rich young ruler asks Jesus, hey, how can I be with you? How can I do more? And then Jesus gives him the commandments and he's like, all right, I've already done these. He goes, great. Now sell all that you have and go and give it to the poor. And it says the rich young ruler walked away or whatever, right? Every time Jesus is challenging people, he's always challenging them to walk away from things, to sell their things, to let go of. And to me, that's the arc of Christianity because we have so many selves within us. We have a God self, an empirical self, and I'd argue a false self, or as Rohr would say. So the deepest part of us is God because we were made in his image. So these other selves are usually manifesting in our life and our daily actions, showing our selfishness, our greed, our lust, our pride, these certain things. And so we're constantly having to let go of those things so we could grab a hold of the deepest part of us, which is God, which is our real self, our true selves. And so spirituality or Christianity in a pure form is constantly inviting you to let go, to deconstruct of all these other things so you can grab a hold of what's really real at the end of the day.
That's good. That's real good.
I feel like we're speaking with a fervor and passion is
funny,
what we're
Laura.
talking about today. What is passion?
Yeah.
How do you find it? How do you keep it? I think it's a myriad of things, to be honest. I'm going to read the
Yeah.
definition because everybody's trying to find out what they're passionate about, really what excites them. So any powerful or compelling emotion or feeling as love or hate, strong amorous feeling or desire, strong sexual desire, an instance or experience of strong love or sexual desire. A lot of this is sexual based. The object of such fondness or desire, an outburst of strong emotion or feeling. These are all definitions for passion. And then I Googled this. What is passion in life? Passion is what motivates us to do the things that we love. It is that strong desire that allows you to create something extraordinary. The fuel that keeps the fire burning. Being passionate about something gives you a sense of purpose. If you are looking for things to be passionate about, here is the page. And so there's a page that says 13 things to be passionate about your life for 2020. You want to know what the first one is? Learning.
Wow.
You should be passionate about learning.
Yeah.
2, creativity. 3, personal growth. 4, mindfulness. These are real basic things. 5, helping and uplifting others. And I don't mean basic in a bad way. 6, decluttering. 7, health and fitness. 8, career growth. 9, money management. 10, relationship health. 11, kids. 12, pets. 13, hobbies. What I find interesting about this list is that I think when you ask the question, even if you're listening and you're asking yourself the question, what am I passionate about? I think we're always looking for that super
Massive
intrinsic,
thing.
like my purpose in life, like what like what the lady said, what is my purpose so I can be passionate about it. And I feel as if that if you don't know your quote unquote purpose or if you're unclear about it, then most people stay within a passionless life. What I like about this list is that it makes it so practical to be passionate about something. So if you can't figure out that cosmic purpose or that thing that you feel, oh, God put me on this earth to do this, and you're still figuring it out, here's 13 things that you can get passionate about that if it exists in your life. And all that thing, I don't know, at least for me, passionate means exactly what we read, a powerful, compelling emotion or feeling as in love or hate. So like things that you love, whether it's pets can be your passion, your kids can be your passion, your relationship health, be passionate about your relationship health, you know? Money management, these are things that you don't even need the intrinsic. These are very like simple. Health and fitness, super simple things. Decluttering, you know, like.
So I guess I always struggled with the idea of passion and being passionate about something because of, I guess, the comparison game. Because I could say, oh, I'm passionate about acting because I want to be an actress. But I'm not in an acting class. I don't watch all the new movies that come out or even the classic movies to like study acting. I couldn't tell you what movies were nominated for an Oscar, any of that. So am I really passionate about being an actor? Because I know there are other people who do all of those things.
Yeah.
So then I feel like, well, I can't say I'm passionate about being an actor because I don't do any of those things. That's just something that I want to do and I feel like I would be good at because I am good at it, you know? And then I could say, okay, I'm passionate about stand-up. I know for a fact I'm not passionate about stand-up. I know it's something that I'm good at.
Yeah.
And it pays the bills and it pays the bills really well. So I keep doing it.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like to do something that you're good at? Like I know that I'm good at it in front of my audience at least. And so why would I not want to do that? So I don't think I'm passionate about it. I guess I compare what someone else's passion is for that same thing. So then I go, oh, then I must not be passionate about it.
Yeah.
And
Well, look, I just Googled 7 signs that you're doing something you're passionate about. 1, you forget to eat or sleep. There are countless stories, examples, and tales of people who have become so engaged in their work, they forget even the most basic needs. It's not healthy, but sometimes you just have to finish that one last thing. I've been there before, for sure. You lose track of time.
Mm-hmm.
You get excited about it at random times during the day. 4, you spend hours reading/learning about what you already know just to learn 1 or 2 more things. 5, there are various signs of your interest scattered around your life. 6, you find ways to fit the activity into an already tight budget. 7, you can't help but talk about it with friends. I feel like those are pretty accurate.
Yeah.
do I do any of those things in regards to acting? I would say
I
no.
don't know if you do any of these things in regard to anything.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, I don't think I'm passionate about anything. And I've said that for years and years. I don't think I'm passionate about anything. Because
Well, here's the thing. Do we think passion is something that happens without our action? Do we think it's just something that just, oh, I'm just naturally passionate about this? Or does it come as a byproduct? Because what we read before, the 13
Does it
things
come
that you
as
could be.
as cultivation rather than just
Exactly.
like
Action.
one moment like, oh.
Because
this
if
is-
you're waiting for passion to hit you, it may never hit you. And I remember Pastor Johnny always used to tell us this. They're like, I don't think anybody is technically passionate about witnessing to people about Jesus, because we already know that the world ain't feeling the message, and you know you're going to be rejected way more than you're going to be accepted. But he always contended that once you get out there, like once you do it, the passion's going to come. It's going to meet you out there on the field, because you're going to see the exact response of what it means to be a witness for Christ. So he was always, don't wait for the feeling. Never wait for the feeling, because if you're waiting for the feeling, it may never come.
Well, okay. So when I think about acting, then I feel like I've gone through seasons where I've been passionate. Like there's been times where when I was an extra, or even after the years of being an extra, and I'm, going to auditions and stuff, and I would be on a studio lot, and it would just give me all the butterflies, just the smell of the soundstage. Or sometimes I would drive up the hill and I would park at an overlook, and I would like stare at Warner Brothers Studios or, Universal Studios and CBS Studios. And I would pray and dream about the time when I could be on a show. Like during those seasons, I would say I was passionate about it. So maybe I've had seasons of being passionate about something, and then maybe I'm currently for the past 10 years in a season of jadedness because I haven't been. So like that's before I experienced a lot of no. Like I did experience no at that time, but it was just enough to like keep the fire burning. Like, all right, then not this one, then the next one. And then maybe now I've experienced so many no's that I'm like, well, forget it.
I think maybe more so, and maybe you guys can speak to this, but I think for you, I think the killer of your passion is comfort. Like you've done so well with comedy that you didn't necessarily have to like do the grind like other comedians did.
Right.
Not that you're not grinding now, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't have to do the initial grind, which is the hardest part. The video popped, it went, and you always say it. If it didn't go the way that it went, I would have never kept on doing comedy.
Never.
So now that it worked and you have this cushion, there's no real like incentive for you to go chase down acting unless, like why? There's no like, I'm at I'm a waitress at a restaurant. And I need to make my big break. There's no, I'm living with 4 other people because we're all struggling actors and we're trying to make it. It's none of that. It's, you go to your job, you get paid well, and it's cool. Yeah. So there's no real stoking of it. You're gonna have to self-create it. You're gonna have to create this thing, and I think that's more of what's stealing your passion, because I'm a firm believer of, I think you have to actually start doing something for it to become a passion. Anything before that, I think it's more of a dream with no legs, because you don't know what it's going to take.
Mm-hmm.
You're just kind of fumbling through what you think you want to become. And most people, when they see what it's going to take to become that thing, they shrink and they stop, because they realize, this is a lot of work in order to become it.
Yeah, and I actually realized that I'm not actually as passionate as I thought I was about this thing.
No, I'm more romantically involved with the idea of becoming this thing.
Well,
and we would always have those conversations
before that. I miss being hungry, which is the same kind of thing. Like, it speaks to comfort. Like, when I was hungry, when I didn't have much, when I hadn't experienced the success yet, like just enough to like keep me believing like, oh, it's a little crumb, a bigger crumb, you know? Like, I miss being hungry, like actual, like, can't have money to pay my bills type of thing. Because when I was in that, I was hungry for it, for my career, for my dreams, for food, for all of it. And then you're right. Then I'm comfortable. And so it's a little bit of, the jadedness of hearing no all the time. And it's the comfort. And it's like having faith like a child, right? But it's easy to have faith like a child when you don't know any better, you know? And I feel like now I know what no thank you feels like and sounds like, because I've heard it so much. So it's hard to have faith like a child when you know better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just I see that. I guess my prayer for you is always that I never want this season to pass you by without you actually have taking your dream in your hand and actually doing it for yourself, which is honestly my prayer for you all the time, because I see people taking their career into their hands, and when everyone says no, they create their own shit. And they win because they don't give up, they believe in themselves, and they just do it. Everyone else is saying no. We just were talking about it yesterday when it came to the guy in the Squid Games. 10 years of no. Yeah. And he still kept going and doing his thing. You know, there's countless of stories in Hollywood of people who just, they kept saying no. So I did my own thing. I just did my own thing. Nick Cannon is a big like proponent of that. Yeah. I just do my own thing. I don't let anybody like stop me. One day I just did it. I just recorded it. Our friends, you know, Kyle, what was his show? Workaholics. Yeah. Just recorded it themselves with the jankiest camera. It was the most low quality. So my prayer is, because I have Pastor Johnny's thing in my head, like there's a constant me of like, if I don't have it, I need to create it. If nobody's saying yes to me, I have to keep doing it until I completely run out of energy or whatever it is that I can no longer do. I'm going to work myself to the place where I'm just dead and it's no longer around. I don't want that season to miss you, because I think about, you know, all these damn TikTok stars, and I don't think anything negative about them. I actually admire them because they see the avenue. They see, oh, if I work at this, if I do this consistently, if I just try, there's a good chance this is going to work. And what do I turn on Netflix, and the damn star of he's all that is a TikTok star. Never acted before in her life, but she has like 30 million TikTok followers. That's why they put her in. And I'm just like, everybody's circumventing it. They're just saying, oh, okay, cool. So I just got to do this. I got to use this. And then I'm going to become what I want. Cool. I'm going to go around the studios. And that's what they're doing. And to me, that's so dope, because you have the ability to do that. But it does come down to understanding, or being honest. Are you waiting for passion, or are you willing to take steps and create that passion and create something to believe in? And it be fully believing in yourself, not if they're going to say yes or if they're going to say no, but fully believing in, I think I'm good at this. I need to show myself that I'm good at this. I need to put something out there to see if I'm good at this. And if I put it out and not only do the studio say no and everyone else thinks, no, this is trash, then okay, maybe I'm not awesome at this. But if you never like do it or put it out, then I don't know. Do you ever really know what you're passionate about? If you stay in fear, or if you let no be the scariest thing?
Yeah, I feel like the sting of rejection is very powerful, because I can think about even earlier this year when I was up for that movie, and, you know, I was coaching for this role and did a lot of self-work to peel off the layers of self-doubt, reminding myself of my talent, my value, all of that. And I feel like during that time, when it felt like it was a yes, when it was going to happen, when I was on the phone with the director and he's like, I want you for this movie, and so do the producers, we just need to convince the studio that. And it felt like it was going to be a yes. I could feel the passion coming back again. I could feel myself being like, oh yeah, I do like acting. Oh, I forgot. I do like this industry. Oh yeah, I am good. And then once it was a no, then it was like all the passion, everything left. Even when other auditions would come up, I'd be like, no, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I don't want to audition. I don't care. I hope Manny blows up with his music because I don't want to do this anymore. You know? And it's like, I do want to. I'm just tired of putting myself out there.
Yeah.
So I think that's where like the passion, jaded, all of it is like in one melting pot of just like, when you hear yes and you win, it's easy to be passionate about that thing. But when you constantly hear no, it's like, no, I don't want to keep putting more into this. I'm tired. But I am passionate about my dog.
Yeah.
When you read that on the list, I was like, that is the one thing that I can speak to that I know for a fact I am passionate about. I light up when I see him, and I post about him. I talk about him. I think about him. Like, that is the one thing, and my husband, but that is the one thing that I can say I'm for sure passionate about is my dog.
It's interesting because I think passion, most people kind of contextualize it as the desire to do something. Like, it's this like, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it. I feel good. I feel all of the good mojo to go and get it. And I remember doing a deep dive into passion some years ago because I did like a talk on it. And I said this, it says, here's the thing about passion. The word comes from the Latin pati, means to suffer. Isn't that fascinating, right? Originally, the concept of passion was interwoven with suffering. Like, you couldn't have one without the other. And like, that's the thing is like, I've realized that passion is also, to me, the word that is kind of synonymous with passion for me is persistence. It's like, it's in the same way people wait till they're inspired or motivated to go work out. And the truth is, it's like that always follows after the action. Yeah. Right. You're waiting for this like divine moment to happen. Then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm going to have the best, I'm going to be the healthiest version of me I've ever been in my life. But the truth is, you have to start taking those steps towards it. Yeah. And I mean, there's so many different levels of passion that are hard. One, it's like awakening passion. Right. So you start to find like early on, like for me, basketball was always a passion of mine. It still is a passion of mine. And now I'm trying to recreate passion for it because playing basketball is what put me in this predicament, getting hurt. Right. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to play basketball for a while, you know? And even though that was the thing that kept me up at night as a kid, that was a thing where I was in 5th grade waking up at 5:45 in the morning because I had a goal. I had a dream. I'd sleep with my basketball. It was my entire life. So like, that was it. And then, you know, it's the other, I think, level of passion is, one, after the awakening, is 2, how do we fuel passion? Which I think is a good question just to open up. Like, what are the actual ways that you fuel passion in your life? Like, you find something, now all of a sudden you hit that brick wall, the rejection, it doesn't work out in the way that you thought it was going to work out. And then all of a sudden there's that moment, which I think is like probably the most important moment of passion, is this thing going to dwindle? Or am I going to fuel this even though it doesn't feel like I should right now? Yeah. In your opinion, what are the ways that you fuel passion in your life?
Mine is very practical. because I am the person that's still getting up at 4 a.m.
True.
I come here, I work out, I shoot videos for you guys. I do 3 different podcasts right now. Combos with Manny, Mind of Manny, this one, Nights at the Round Table. I do other people's podcasts. Like, to me, what fuels my passion and what I'm doing right now, which is, the podcast space, is when I hear back from you guys. So when that and enjoying our time together, but when I hear back that we're actually doing something for people, that fuels my passion. Mm-hmm. When somebody hits up and like, thank you. Even though sometimes numbers don't reflect it and you're like, why don't we have more subscribers? Why doesn't everybody go subscribe when we say subscribe? Why don't we have more Patreon? You can sit down and tear down this whole thing. But when somebody emails and says, oh my God, you guys changed my life, or oh my God, I like God now again, it's just like, whoa. And that keeps me going. When it comes to health, what fuels my passion in health is I'm not fat. I look around, there's a lot of people that I used to know that's just fat, unhealthy, and dealing with a lot of issues. And I look at myself and I'm like, you know what? I'm not like chiseled. I'm not a damn Matthew McConaughey, but I'm still, in my size 34s. So,
Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, I'm no Lenny, but I feel good about that. I think what music is the other thing that I'm passionate about, and real estate. With real estate, how I feed my passion in that is the doing, is the going, is the trying. For sure, there's failing. Last week, I was in escrow with 2 houses. This week, I'm possibly going to lose the LA house, and I lost the Nashville house. So now I got to start all over. I have all the thoughts. That's what woke me up early this morning. Like, damn it. Did I make bad decisions? Like, did I buy 2 bad houses? Like, I'm having all these fears. But I still woke up, and I still came here, and I'm like, I'm going to do a video about it. I am not going to let this deter me from continuing the passion of real estate and finding out what it is. And with music, it's the same thing. I just wake up and I keep doing the things that I know have worked for everyone else. I cannot compare my timeline with everyone else, but I know, hey, every person who has a #1 hit song, they had to wake up, they had to go to the studio, they had to record it. There's no other way they could have had a hit song. They had to just show up and do the work. What happened after they did the work, I'm sure they couldn't predict, but they freaking showed up. So what keeps my passion going is just showing up and doing the things that I know are the building blocks of success, and then trusting that the rest is going to happen. So this week, I get a Wheel of Fortune placement. I get X on the Beach placement. I get another Wheel of Fortune promo placement.
Another one.
I'm up for a movie trailer that I'll find out this week if I get it.
Come on, Lord.
That's 4 massive placements, which just last week I was emailing my agent. Hey, am I doing everything right? Do I need to do anything better? Am I giving you guys what you need? I just want to make sure that I'm doing it, because I know I had all these placements that were supposed to land, and it feels like this year nothing landed. And I'm just like, if I land all 4 of these things in the same week, the only way that happened is because I showed up, I did the do, because that's all I could do. I always tell people, you do the possible and God will do the impossible. So I feel like that's really the only way to stoke passion, is doing all this stuff that nobody wants to do. And it's what separates the people who win from the people who don't. There will be a time where you'll be able to look back on your career. You'll be able to look back at your career, and you'll have to answer the question of, did I do it all? Like, did I do everything that I could? And you're going to have to be okay with saying yes or no, I didn't. I let the too many no's stop me. I let the injury stop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you're going to have to answer that, and you're going to have to be okay with the outcome. That scares me, because I'm the type of guy that's like, if you build it, they will come. I try everything that comes to my head. And sometimes that looks very scatterbrainy, but it's not. I feel like I have a good idea. I throw it out and I try. And if it fails, it fails. And I keep freaking going on the next great idea.
I love that about you.
Because, I'm actually impressed by you a lot, because I could never have heard that many no's and kept going. So I'm not at all like, why can't you do more? I think the thing with you that I really feel is when you're feeling the way you're feeling it about a system that we all know leans a certain way. So you got Hollywood, you got the music business, it all leans a certain way. 99% of the stars that were not found because anybody made the right choice. Complete and utter accidents. All accidents. I can go down the list of how many A-list artists were passed up by so many people, and they had to do it on their own. My biggest fear for myself, and then I also put that on you, is when it's all said and done, 10 years later, you're going to look back. And if, which I hate even saying it, but if you say, man, it never happened, I'm not going to be able to be like fully, I'm going to be 50-50 empathetic. 50-50 because 50% of me is like, assholes, I can't believe they didn't see how dope you were. But then the other 50 is going to be like, but you never took it into your own hands. And you could have. Like right now, I firmly believe that if you committed to TikTok, that you would blow the hell up. And that is what people are looking at right now. They're looking at Instagram followers. They're looking at TikTok. That's just where the world is at right now. So all the studios, everybody, this person got 20 million followers. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
People who never walked in fashion shows before, walking in fashion shows. Why? Because their following is so big. It doesn't matter if you're awesome in this vocation anymore. Mm-hmm. If you got enough eyes on you, if you're doing something that people want to look at, they're going to give you a shot. There's no way it's going to go past you. It's just not. So that's why I always pray secretly. I'm like, I hope my babe just catches a freaking desire to fight back against the system. If anything, fight back against the system to prove them wrong. Like, I can put eyes on me. I can succeed in this with or without you. I don't need you to become a household name. I can do this myself. Anyways, I get passionate about that shit. I can tell. I'm so amped because it's just, and no other time in history do we all have the access or the ability to make something of ourselves. Yeah. And we just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because we're scared. We don't want to hear no. We don't want to whatever. But I'm just like, man, that's not, I promise you, when you're 50, 60 years old, that shit's not going to sit right. It's not going to sit right if you look back and be like, I didn't do it because whatever whack ass excuse. It's not going to sit right. It's going to feel like you missed an opportunity, and then you're too old to even give a damn.
That's how I feel now. I'm too old to give a damn. That's how I feel.
But that's also because you haven't put it in. You haven't put it in. You haven't given anything a real shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as on your own. Like, I'm going to do this shit on my own. Freak that. I'm going to show these people that I can write. I'm going to show these people that I can act. I'm going to shoot my own movies. I'm going to shoot my own shows. I'm going to do a docuseries on Instagram. I'm going to do something for IGTV. I'm going to do something for my YouTube channel. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show myself that I can do this. And then once you dive into the work, you're going to feel passionate when you start seeing stuff come back and you're like, oh shit, this is good. It's like when I write a song and I hear it back, some songs are like, and then it's trash. But then there's other songs where I hear it and I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, this has to win. This is so good. And then when I hear back, oh, this place, it's like, I knew it. I am good. I may not be good enough to make it as an artist, but I'm sure as hell good enough to make it in what I'm doing. So, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just took a lot of time talking.
No, that's good.
Queen, don't be mad at me.
I'm not mad.
No,
I just don't think I'm that passionate about it. Like, I don't care that much. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Even when I was writing little sketches for Instagram TV. Like, it lasted like a few sketches, but I wasn't into it. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Because you didn't see the response you wanted?
There was nothing in me to keep wanting to do it. Like, I don't know. I think I was telling you, Brandon, I was like, I don't like anything that's hard. Like, remember, I was like, I didn't like school. Mm-hmm. I didn't like school. We were talking about like what kind of grades you got. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't apply myself. If it was too hard, I wouldn't apply myself because I don't like doing hard things. I'm lazy. I don't know. Like, I'm a hard worker.
Once the door opens, you're definitely a hard worker.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's like the scariest shit I ever heard. Like, I would be scared if I felt that way. I really would. Because we only get this one life.
Yeah. It's like, because I think you said something key. You said, I don't care that much about it. And that's honest. And I appreciate you sharing that. I think when you don't care that much, you're not going to sacrifice for that much, you know? Because it's like when it is like in your mind, when it's like life or death, it's like, I'll do whatever. I'll knock down whatever door. I don't need a door open for me.
Right.
And that's really tough. Yeah, that's real. I mean, I'm trying to gather some thoughts. I think like,
I mean, is there anything that has scared you away from your true passion? Because I know you have stuff that you want to do. I know you're passionate about still teaching basketball to the kids. I know you still have dreams or passions about your clothing line, about different things. Like, if you were honest, have you lost passion for certain things? And if you did, can you trace it back to you stop putting in or stop doing the little things?
Absolutely. Like, I think one thing that I was passionate about, and I think I still am passionate about, except I just haven't allocated time for it. Like basketball last year, I mean, obviously it's something I'm super passionate about. Like last year, my business alone, I like with my basketball training, I brought in 6 figures last year, which is amazing.
Yeah.
As like just some single dude with a business, you know? And I think because that was working and it's something I'm passionate about, it was like, I have to be in this place where I have to allocate most of my time for that.
Wait, but which came first? Because when you started training the kids, was it like, damn, this is awesome, I'm so passionate about this? Or was it, oh my God, this is working, and then passion came?
Yeah, no, I think it's something I've always been passionate about because I really love to inspire people. I love to teach, and basketball is a game I've devoted my life to ever since I was a little kid. So that's always something I've known that I could do, but I have like other passions as well in like design and, you know, fashion. And I think when we launched the Saints label, there was just so many unknowns when it came to that. And again, I think in my eyes, I'm always like, I expect the best. I hope for the best. I'm prepared for it, yada, yada, yada. And I think with the unknowns and it not being the stellar success that I wanted it to be, I think I got really discouraged by that. And simultaneously, as that was happening, basketball was taking off and new opportunities. So it was kind of like, all right, well, I'll put this passion on the back burner for now because this other passion it's on fire right now. And I think like there's so much stuff that I still want to do, like with design and stuff. Like it's been such a long time. Like at one point I was like designing a shirt like every other week. Like I was just coming up with designs. I was playing with fonts, placements, all that sorts of stuff. And I've almost lost that gift, if I'm being really honest. It was like the thing wasn't firing for me. Like I felt like I used to be full of so many ideas. And because I put that passion on the back burner and I wasn't actually putting time in, I realized, oh my gosh, this muscle is really atrophied in my life. And so it was like, it took me like 2 hours to design like one shirt. And it's like, and I was like, man, I was even struggling finding my buttons and stuff. Like I was like, oh wait, how do I format this again? How do I do? And I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's been such a long time. And I think especially me wanting success so bad in all that I do, being a 3, an achiever, experiencing that setback, what felt like it felt like kind of a punch, but not like a life-ending punch. It just felt like, okay, cool, I'll pick this up another time. And I think like, it was funny, I was thinking about this the other day, is if I were to win the lottery today, what would I do with my life and my time? And I would just be designing cool shit. And I realized like, I think the lottery last week was up to like, I don't know, like 600 mil or whatever.
I know. I was going to say we should all get tickets, but
I know
somebody already won it.
Somebody won it?
Yeah. In California.
But,
no way.
Man, we were so close.
They need it because we got taxes.
So close.
So close. But I was thinking, I was like, man, if I had all the money and all the time, what would I actually be doing in my life? And I would be designing some cool stuff, and I'd be designing some dope experiences, and I would be talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that would involve basketball on a daily basis. Like, it was funny because I even had a dream the other night, and Manny interpreted my dream in a very like profound way. I was at my old high school, and the high school didn't look like when I went there, but in the dream I knew this is my high school. This is my alma mater. And I go inside the gym, and I remember I felt just so overwhelmed with all these feelings and emotions that I just start profusely weeping in my dream. And I'm just struck by how small this gym actually is in my dream. I'm thinking in real life, our gym could fit 1,300 people. But in this gym, there's not even enough room for benches on the sidelines or the baseline. And there was a couple things. One, it was like it had another meaning. But Manny says, hey, did you ever think like possibly this was referring to your life? Basketball had played such a big role in your life that now God is actually calling you into something new. And this could be something that has a small.
Wow.
And yeah. And so it's funny because I was just thinking about that and I was like, man, I would be like, there's all these things that I would love to do, but I feel like I'm going to have to get to a point where I'm going to have to take just a risk on myself.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I think there's a part of me deep down inside that's like, but it's not guaranteed. And so let me do what's working and let me do what I know I can build with. And and this is the thing. It's not like I'm living like, it's not like I'm not fulfilled in my life.
Right.
I feel like an actual like deep level of like joy and fulfillment in my life, but I just know that there's more that I could do and there's more that I could bring to people. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like, I think there's a couple things that I want to do with basketball still that I think is going to kind of ultimately be something that can live on its own without me. That's what I'm building towards a basketball. And I think the other things I'm like, I hate this mindset because if I was mentoring me, it was this thing of like, well, you got time. And that's like one of the biggest lies I think we all believe. It's like, I will get to that at some point. And that tomorrow never comes. And so I think in my mind, I'm trying to justify my actions and maybe even in some ways my lack of courage and belief in myself that there's going to be some point where I can cross over into what this new thing is that I'm doing. But it's like, I can't cross over into that new thing if I'm never taking a step in that direction. God isn't magically going to take me where I'm at and put me where there is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's going to be like, hey, you know, the journey, what's the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And so anyways, yeah.
That's so profound because go ahead, baby.
You just said something that was pretty profound. Multiple profound things in what you just said.
Foundation.
If I was mentoring myself, what would I say?
Yeah.
And right now I just started thinking, if I was mentoring myself, what would I say? And I feel like the first thing that popped in my head was just do something every day. Like do one thing every day in your creativity, whatever that is. Write a joke. Even if it's a silly one-liner joke, write a joke every day. Like write an idea of a movie every day. Like just do something every day, which is something you've said before, but that's just what popped in my head now. Like if I were mentoring myself, I was like, oh, because I do feel like I give good advice to other people. What advice would I give to someone who is me in my position and all the things? What would I say? So that was just very profound. What mentoring myself.
Yeah, I did it. I said it in one of our Patreon videos. It was the way that I find myself not giving up is I just do one thing a day. And oddly enough, there's so much confidence and good feeling that comes with accomplishing something, like a task, saying this is the task and I did it. Like I completed it. I finished it. Even if it's like yesterday I did my Freestyle Friday, which I'll post today. It's just an idea I had. I'm going to start freestyling my emotions every Friday. Just talk about whatever it is, and I'll do it for as long as I think people like it or do whatever. And right now I may not have the quote unquote passion for it, but I'm always talking. I'm always telling people how I feel, my thoughts. Let me just put it with music behind it and see if I can just challenge myself as if I needed more things to do.
Right.
But I have to try because to me, I am firmly aware of the fact that we don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah. And
I know what regret feels like. Well, no, I don't. Stop. I kind of do. I regret bad decisions of who I connected myself to, but not even because I learned so much from it.
Yeah.
I have zero regrets of things that I didn't try. I tried acting. I tried going. I did 3 or 4 castings and immediately knew this shit ain't for me. This is not for me. I heard 4 no's and I was just like, oh, this is wretched. I do not have, but I had to try. I did modeling. Like, all right, people always tell me I look like one. Let me go try. First time I walked into a freaking thing, they were like, take your shirt off. In the front of everyone, in front of all the cubicles, take your shirt off. You need to lose some fat and you need to work on your face. You got pimples. I was like, well, shoot, this is how y'all talk? And I didn't become insecure about myself, but I was quickly like, this is the industry. Welcome. Oh. Do you like this? Do you not? Are you okay with this kind of conversation? Are you not? Nah, it's not really for me because I just don't care about it like this. But then in music, it was like every day. I taught myself how to mix. I taught myself how to master. I taught myself how to record. I would just do little things every day. The whole summer when I got my computer, I learned how to mix by going through a CD a day, practicing mixing songs. This was back when it was CDs. I would burn the CD, take it to my car to learn, and I would do it every day. And it's just something that I do to this day. I wake up every morning and I do just one small thing. If it's an idea I have, if it's a TikTok, if it's a whatever, I just do it and put it out because you just don't know. You never know what can happen. I think something about that excites me. And it excites me to think that at least I'm putting myself out there. And if it doesn't go anywhere, then I can be okay with like being like, all right, well, maybe I'm just not that dude. If I try for 7 years to do something and I do it consistently and people are just not responding, then maybe I'm just not that dude. If I still feel like I enjoy doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. Whether it's just getting 100 likes, I'm going to keep doing it because I enjoy it. But I'm also aware of the fact of if I'm forcing something that nobody wants to hear or nobody cares about, nobody whatever, like I'm okay with letting things go and moving on to the next. I'm not okay with not trying it.
Yeah. I mean, that's for real. It's because it's funny because I think like I look at my life and I see like we're allowed to have multiple passions. With one passion, I'm like, I did that right. I took all the chances. I made all the sacrifices and it continues to pay off for me today. And then there's other passions that I'm like, oh man, do I really want to climb a whole nother mountain again? Mm-hmm. Because I know how much it took to get to where I was getting to playing basketball. And maybe, I think too, this year has been tough for me. Like there's been so much that I've had to deal with this year. So in a lot of ways, it's like, I don't have the bravado I had 4 years ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think in that space, I just am like, really like, I actually don't know if I have what it takes to do this. And I'm scared to explore if I have what it takes.
Yeah.
And am I in the space where I could actually take a chance on me? Like, can I really take a chance? And, I think like I've had this conversation with myself. I haven't had this conversation with myself as much this year because I've just been trying to process all the stuff I'm dealing with. But I had this conversation a lot more with myself last year. Like this conversation is something that I'd wake up in the night and I'd think about. And this is a conversation that I had with myself when I was like crossfaded at New Year's Eve. I shared with the people who were there. I'm literally in my underwear on my bed. I share the story. And one of the things that I shared with the people in the room was I feel like such a failure in my life. And I didn't go into it, but in some of the ways I'm like, I feel like I've failed with saints. And I hate looking like a failure.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, oh, this is a reflection of me. And with me struggling sometimes to feel like I'm good enough, it's like, oh, this is so humiliating. And then there's my false self that comes out that's directed by pride and ego that says, hey, just avoid this. Just don't talk about it. Like it'll just disappear. But it hasn't. And so recently it's funny because I just got an Apple Pencil for my new iPad and I am like, in the back of my mind, I made this decision 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh, I'm gonna start designing again. And I'm just gonna slowly start releasing things and just start creating things and just to see, just give myself a chance, take a step in that direction. And so we'll see. So I guess like in some ways be on the lookout.
Yay!
Because I'm back. I decided 2 weeks ago, but I'm still scared. It doesn't replace like the fear or the doubt that I have when it comes to that. But I know it's a passion of mine, and I hate feeling like I'm not fully alive.
Yeah. Or
So
that
it's like-
that you let fear beat you in an area that you wanted to win in. I think about it. I literally think about my conversations with my business manager, because she's like my second wife. I talk to her so much. And I'm like, shoot, Jillian's going to hear another idea that I have, and it's going to be another idea that doesn't plan out. You know, shoot, this week has been hard for me because I'm like, damn it. I can't believe these real estate. I'm always on I feel like dreamers are always on a thin line between genius and idiot. That's what I walk that line on a daily. Like last week, genius. I'm making money here. I'm making money here. It's going to work. We're going to move forward. What's the next thing? This week, idiot. Lost this one. Almost going to lose this one. Stuck with 2 houses. Everything stops. And I'm like, how can I quickly go from and then Jillian, she's probably going to think, look at Manny. This guy's trying another thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, what's my alternative?
Yeah.
To just sit back and be like, well, this is going to be another failure. That was what my last freestyle was like. Mm-hmm. Like, is this going to be another almost made it season?
Yeah.
You know, like, is this going to be that? But I just determined something. I determined something myself with Sync. I said, I'm going to give it 4 years to even start questioning if I'm good at this. Because all my friends who are really successful at it told me that it was year 4 where stuff started clicking. So I made a determination in my mind. I'm not going to say a single thing about whether I'm good or bad at this until year 4. That's when I will begin to question, am I doing the right thing? And that's 4 years. That's not like a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. So I'm committed, and I've kept my mouth shut. I haven't complained to my agent, to my manager. I haven't said a single thing. I'm just a student right now, learning this game, and I am committed. Same thing with real estate. I will not be afraid of losing. If I make a mistake, I'm not going to be afraid. I am excited that if I make mistakes, I have to figure out, how am I going to turn this into a win? If I can't sell the lot in Nashville, I'm going to have to do the build. How am I going to turn that into a win? What can I do? Let me challenge myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm getting passionate about that. Like, these are my losses, and my ego is going to feel so bad about it. But then I'm so passionate about figuring out how to turn this into a win. Because I have to. Because every wise person around me has told me that they have lost, and they're an umpteenth amount of times smarter than I am.
One of your ideas is going to pop off. It can't. You have so many that you throw out there, and just like, remember that one guy who told you a long time ago, you throw enough shit on the wall, something's going to stick. And you're so good about continuing to throw shit on the wall, something new. And every time you come to Jillian with one of your crazy ideas, when the one pops off, whatever it's going to be that pops off, I think even Jillian will be celebrating with us, and because she's been through all of your crazy ideas.
Yeah. And like, at the end of the day, I understand really what my passion is people. Mm-hmm. So I do all these podcasts because I hope people are touched by the end of the day. Like the music I do, I just hope people are touched. And somehow, some way, it makes them smile in their life. The music videos that I shoot, I just want people to laugh. I am firmly understanding that my passion is people. I want to help people have a better life.
I feel like I agree with you in the passion being people. With my stand-up, I love the meet and greets when I would meet people and hug them, and I would feel like God would whisper things to me to share with them and have a moment with them. And I love that, and I miss that. But at the same time, I haven't been doing meet and greets because of COVID. Yeah. And I love it because I'm so tired. And it's like I do an hour 15 show, and then I have a meet and greet for another hour. And so it's like 2 shows, 2 hours of energy exuding, giving that all. And then sometimes back to back on comedy clubs, 8 shows and 8 meet and greets. And it's exhausting. So I'm like, considering like, okay, do I do meet and greets for this tour next year because who knows what COVID's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I miss people. I miss hugging people and hearing their stories and connecting with humans, because that's what I love about is connecting with humans. But also, I love that I get to rest after the shows. I'm so tired. So I'm like, it's so funny because I hear you say like, I'm passionate about people. That's why I do the work and I do this and I record this podcast and whatever. And I'm like, see, we're different because like I'm passionate about people, but maybe I'm not passionate because I'm not going to do all that work.
Well, no, the difference is the first step. The difference is that you'll see, like I told you, the reason I do it is because of the messages. I only get the messages after I put out the thing. So you're not going to find the passion until you do the thing, because it's the response, it's the helping people that now keeps me going. I remember I got the messages. I go back and I read them and I'm like, no, we're really helping people. So when I'm editing, when I'm doing the producing, when I'm hours talking with Ryan, trying to figure out how to make this thing continue to work, I get as down as everybody else, but I'm just like, nah, man, there's people that are really being affected by this. And that is what keeps me going, you know? And I think to sum it up I think both of you guys are insanely talented at what you do. And as your friend and husband, family, I would like to see you guys give a concentrated effort at whatever it is. And what I mean by concentrated, like set a time frame. I'll be like, I'm going to go ham. Like 2022 is my year. I will do something every day or every other day, like towards this dream, and reevaluate in 3 months. Has my passion kicked in or has it not? Has it been more like a headache? Because then I think maybe then you could check it off and be like, oh, okay, I don't have to ask this question no more. This ain't a passion. This is just something that I thought I would like to do, but I don't really like to do it. But you won't ever know until you like commit to it, like really commit. Yeah, you did some Instagram shit, but you did it for a week or two. Like you can't find out if something is awesome in a week or two unless you get lucky and the first thing you do pops and it goes viral. Then of course you're going to find passion because it's working. But if you can commit 3 months every week, I'm doing a funny video, I'm doing a sketch on TikTok, I will commit, and then do it for 3-6 months straight. See what freaking happens. I've been putting out music now for 3 years and I still haven't popped. Like as far as like fans finding me or all my songs are in the 6 figures of streams. That shit ain't happening. But I'm just like, I love this. I think I'm really good. One day it's good. There's going to be a song. I keep speaking into existence that Apple will use one of my songs one day and they're going to find my page and they're going to be like, this guy looks amazing. Let's put him in the video. Let's put him in the commercial. We don't need to hire an eccentric, multicultural looking person that's going to skip down the road with the new AirPods. Let's hire this guy. He can fit the bill. I literally speak that. And I told my managers, I said, anytime Apple comes calling, show them my picture, show them my videos. I am everything that they are. Like, show them me, because they're not going to want to look anywhere else. They're going to be like, this guy has it. He can totally do our commercial. So she knows that if they ever, and they've come twice for songs interested in them. And I remind her, send them my picture, send them my profile, let them see my personality, because they're going to pick me and they're going to put me in their commercial. That's what I keep saying. If it happens.
Keep saying it, lover.
Bruh. Look, if you guys are out there, man, and you're struggling with your passion, holler at us. None of us have it all together.
Somebody calling us?
No.
Oh, I was like, do we have a call-in line?
We're
is it blinking?
We're all just trying to we're all just trying to keep this thing going, man, and we're trying to help each other, not condemn, not make each other feel bad. So if you guys are having a problem with passion or anything of the sort, man, just DM us, hit us up. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment.
Or if you have advice that you want to give us.
Oh, that'd be great. We'd love to hear from you.
Passion and how you
we are not above anyone. Please reach out to us. It totally means the world. Leave a comment, follow, like, share, subscribe on YouTube, y'all. Manuel Reyes Media. Hit the bell, especially on Instagram. Y'all don't know it if you did this song. If you're on Instagram and you're following us, hit the little bell in the top right corner. That gives you notifications every time we post so that you can go over there and like, and so that we smash the algorithm. That's what we need.
Smash it.
We love you guys. We pray that you find a seat at the table. But if you don't, you are always welcome at ours. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.